Well, good afternoon and thanks for watching. I'm Hoyt in for Journey Taylor at noon. Here's what we are working on as we start this Friday afternoon. New charges in the special counsel's investigation into former President Donald Trump and his handling of classified documents. We'll have a look at how the legal issues are expanding in just 2 minutes. Plus, passport problems plaguing Americans. How Congress is now helping clear a 3-year backlog. And from concerts to the classroom, how music superstar Bad Bunny is using his music to inspire fans and learn more about important issues. But on this Friday, we have got Scott Covert here with us as we try to come up with new ways to describe how hot it's going to get here in the end of July.
It's going to take a lot of creativity. Look, really, it's wash, rinse, repeat. The question isn't what kind of weather are we going to see. The question is how hot is it going to get? And here at the noon hour, our numbers have really warmed up quickly. 96 degrees currently in Little Rock, Pine Bluff, Hot Springs, sitting at 93 in Arkadelphia, 95 the current temperature in Conway this afternoon. Our satellite and radar shows mostly clear skies across our neck of the woods. We had some clouds in north and northwest parts of the state, but those have since fizzled out for the most part. The rest of the day, we'll see plenty of sunshine temperature-wise, getting really close to that century mark. It'll certainly feel like it when you factor in the humidity. Heat index values this afternoon ranging anywhere from 105 to as high as 110. No surprise, yet again, we have a heat advisory in effect for most of Arkansas, and we'll have several more of these certainly going into the weekend when temperatures are expected to get even warmer. 100 tomorrow and again on a Sunday. Very slight chances of stray showers primarily in northern Arkansas. We'll take a look at that, and we're looking for a cold front. Did we find one? Well, I've got those answers and more coming up in your 7-day forecast.
Scott, thank you. Well, this afternoon, flags flying at half staff across the state as a tribute to late state treasurer Mark Lowry. Lowry died on Wednesday at the age of 66, just 1 day after announcing his retirement. He suffered 2 strokes earlier this year. Right now, his body lies in state at the 2nd floor of the state capitol. The public can pay their respects through 2 o'clock this afternoon. And then Lowry's funeral is tomorrow at New Life Church in North Little Rock. That starts at 12:30 in the afternoon. As for what's next for the state and the office, the governor will appoint someone to take his spot until the next general election. That comes up next year. Former President Donald Trump reacting to the new charges announced today in his ongoing classified documents case. Prosecutors allege that the former president and his property manager at Mar-a-Lago conspired with each other and an aide to delete security video just days after he received a subpoena. Natalie Brand has the latest details from Washington.
Former President Donald Trump railed against the new charges he's facing related to the classified documents investigation.
This is harassment. This is election interference.
A 60-page superseding indictment from a federal grand jury in Florida accuses Trump of conspiring to pressure a Mar-a-Lago employee to delete security camera footage.
It is obviously an extremely serious crime to destroy evidence in an ongoing investigation. It's essentially what we call consciousness of guilt. The cover-up is not only a crime in and of itself, it also shows that this was not an accident.
The indictment also alleges a violation of the Espionage Act, accusing Trump of showing an Iran war plan to several people without security clearances at his New Jersey golf club. According to the indictment, a recording obtained by CBS News captured the 2021 conversation Trump had with 2 staffers, a book writer and a publisher.
It is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information. Look at this.
The latest legal development comes as the former president waits for a possible indictment from a Washington, D.C. grand jury looking into Trump's actions following the 2020 presidential election and the January 6th Capitol attack. As the legal issues pile up, Trump remains the frontrunner for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. Sources close to him tell CBS News his inner circle is confident about his chances, but also on edge. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Back here in Arkansas, a Hot Springs woman demanding answers this week in the case of her missing son. Amir Ellis hasn't been seen in more than 2 months since his disappearance on May 17th. 3 people have been arrested and charged with kidnapping. But so far, that hasn't yielded any clues to where Ellis might be. Last night, his mother, Jessica, and their family gathered outside the Hot Springs courthouses to make another plea for closure.
Today we just want to bring about a peaceful gathering for Amir Ellis, just keeping his name and his face and his kidnapping front and center. And so if you know anything, even the smallest thing could probably, be the key to what we need to find Amir.
Jessica Ellis says she did get an update from police recently, but they couldn't say much because of a gag order placed on the case. Garland County records indicate one of the two accused of kidnapping her son, Nathaniel Speed, he is due in court on Monday. Almost every new law passed by the legislature this past spring goes into effect on Tuesday, but the question of whether the LEARNS Act should have gone into effect already still has to be decided, and the deadline for a first set of legal briefs in the appeal over that sweeping education law is today. The state Supreme Court will have to decide if lawmakers violated the state constitution when they voted on an emergency clause to make it go into effect right away. A lower court said they did and put the law on hold. More legal briefs will be due over the next 3 weeks before an eventual final decision. Other academic news, North Little Rock High School expanding offerings to help students get ready for the workplace with a new partnership. The school is teaming up with Baptist Health to offer a path for students looking to enter medical fields. It's part of the Academies of Central Arkansas program. It pairs with districts and businesses to create different paths for students.
As I'm sure these students are going to find, they're going to see things, they're going to meet people, they're going to have the opportunity to do things along with their teachers and all of the school officials that just have never been available before.
North Little Rock is one of 11 schools in the program, working with 16 businesses like car dealerships, banks, and utility companies. We've got a link to the Academy's website in the digital version of this story. Check this out. Artificial intelligence could be coming to a Central Arkansas school district very soon. Pulaski County Special is opening up a discussion with their teachers focused on AI like ChatGPT and how it could be used in the classroom, from the dangers and fears to how it could change education for the better. The district wants to get ahead and start prepping teachers for what could be coming, and many are learning for the first time just how much it can do.
I wouldn't imagine, honestly, that in the 2023 school year that a student could say, write a 3-paragraph essay, and that it would spit that out to them in 5 seconds.
Later tonight on THV11 News at 6, THV11's Michaelan Johnson will dive deeper into how the district and its teachers are handling this transformative technology. Roaches, mold, and paying to have air conditioning. Those are just some of the complaints that tenants have at a Hot Springs apartment complex. And in the middle of this heat wave, some tenants at Greenbrier Apartments say their AC units are removed if they don't pay up. That means for some in those units, which are part of a federally subsidized housing program, the price for AC ends up exceeding what they can pay with rent as well.
We had to start paying for air conditioning because it wasn't included on the HAP contract. I was very confused. How do you find it in your heart to be so cruel?
We called state housing officials who told us there's no statewide or federal requirement for landlords to provide AC, but change could be coming because members of the Hot Springs City Board are considering new ordinances that require AC to be in at least one room of an apartment, among other requirements. And that at their meeting coming up on Tuesday next week. Well, in response to extreme heat, Little Rock and North Little Rock are opening cooling centers up here. In the capital, East Little Rock Community Center will be open through the weekend. Hours will be 9 until 6 today and tomorrow, and then noon to 6 on Sunday. The other community centers in the city are also open to the public daily from 9 to 6, except for Sunday. And then north of the river, you can go to North Little Rock Community Center to cool off. You can even bring your pets there if they are on a leash. That one will be open from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. all the way through Sunday. Extreme heat also impacting businesses across the state, including at Little Rock Zoo, and they plan to cut hours from 8 in the morning until 2 throughout the rest of the month of August. The move is to help protect animals and staff and visitors from being outside during the hottest parts of the day. Regular hours are scheduled to return in September. Need to get a passport? Good luck. We're going to take a closer look at the problems that the State Department is facing as more and more Americans look to travel abroad. Scott?
Wouldn't mind traveling someplace cooler this weekend. Temperatures are actually going to get a little bit hotter tomorrow and again on Sunday. We'll have a look at your weekend forecast and looking for any potential relief. Those details and more coming up in your 7-day forecast.